There is so much hatred in the world when people lose their power or worse, abuse it. I've had many a discussion with people intent on making me believe they were the victim when the pendulum swung against them. The real truth is, if you don't abuse the power when it is in your favor, you will barely feel the effect of it ebbing and flowing like the tide. At any time the pain is enough to make you cry out when the change happens, there is a fair chance the power was being misused by someone on your side. Possibly you. An operator once asked me how it was fair to have females in the mining industry receiving jobs over potentially more experienced male counterparts. My answer was simply that no one, including him, had bothered to ask that question on the lady's behalf for a couple of centuries, and that what he was feeling was the swing back of a heavily biased pendulum against him. His silence didn't convince me of his agreeance or understanding. So I followed with a second and third example. From my little understanding, the police in America had too much power for the longest time and were now screaming in agony as the power left their side quickly. Unions had done a good job defending the rights of the worker, but somewhere along the way allowed the wrong message to be broadcast amongst the members, who brutally made companies pay for any disagreement. You guessed it, they, like so many, are crying in their palms as the companies return serve just as harshly when the pendulum finally swung back in their favor. Or the common man who mistreats his wife until the day she leaves and takes with her the kids, money, and most likely a house is Australia's most frequent reminder of a misused power's day, when most women would dare not even speak back to their husband, let alone leave him. If you think of the power sitting at 8 o'clock on one side and 4 o'clock on the other, then the speed it moves back through 6 o'clock is always going to be too fast to stop dead center. Righting the wrongs of other people's pasts through revenge and retribution only guarantees the swing of the pendulum will continue to shift violently from one side to the other. True balance requires a resetting of the pendulum, not a change in sides. So the question I ask myself is, what power do I have? Am I abusing it? How long will I hurt if it swung against me? What can I do to ensure I ease back to a point of balance before I am forced to? As they say, if we are not part of the solution, we are part of the problem. A lot of society's issues with self-doubt, self-worth, depression and anxiety, in my unprofessional opinion, come from the constant blaming of others for their problems. The anger spat towards anyone that would oppose their opinion. The misuse of power regardless of who has it. Being constantly on edge, sending our nerves crazy. And the media pouring fuel on it as often as they can, because let's face it, fear sells papers. It's time to have a long look in the mirror. Only you could change the outcome of your day for the better. Only we can turn the nation into one of love and trust again. Will we start today, or are we addicted to the drama?